San Antonio, Texas man gets 99 years for killing his neighbor and best friend and then stuffing him into a barrel. Welcome. I hope you are well today. A Bexar County jury sentenced San Antonio man Monday to 99 years in prison in the shooting and stabbing death of his neighbor and best friend, whose body was then stuffed into a barrel in the West Side backyard in 2018. After deliberating for about an hour, the jury resumed Monday morning and found George Oscar Pena, 43, guilty of killing Juan Ramiro Martinez, 43, on April 12th of 2018. The panel took just over an hour to decide on the 99-year term. Pena, 43, faced up to life in prison. He will have to serve at least 30 years before he would be eligible for parole. Prosecutors Brandon Ramsey and Laura Zamora had argued throughout the trial that Pena killed his neighbor and best friend, whom Pena believed was stealing things from his yard, and tried to cover up the crime. Testimony established that Martinez was shot 7 times and stabbed 13 times before his body was hidden inside of a plastic barrel in the backyard. Defense attorney John Amicrotti and Robert Dittman argued Pena acted in self-defense after Martinez showed him a knife that he had allegedly stolen from Pena, and their client was fed up with things being stolen from him. Prosecutors played several recorded phone calls from the Bexar County jail after the killing, in which Pena admitted to relatives that he shot Martinez, whom he had known since childhood. Pena also told a relative that he had hidden the body, and authorities wouldn't have been able to find anything. He also blamed his girlfriend, who called police after she witnessed the killing. "I can't believe she ratted me out," he said. Pena is heard telling his aunt, who called him Mijo, on the jail recordings, "I told her to get rid of everything." Pena testified in his own defense and told the jury that he pulled a .22 caliber rifle on Martinez, his neighbor and best friend, when he showed him the knife, and he said Martinez grabbed the barrel and the weapon went off. Shooting Martinez 7 times, Pena said he slit Martinez's throat when the man fell forward and he swung the knife. "I did not shoot him," Pena said to the jury. "He grabbed the gun and my finger was on the trigger." Before Pena was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs Monday, Martinez's sister and wife gave tearful victims' impact statements. "The sad thing is, you were friends for the longest time," Martinez's sister, Belinia Martinez, told Pena. "You left a hole in us that will never be the same, but I forgive you so I can be forgiven." Pearl Martinez, the victim's wife, told Pena that he was he had a giant heart and was a kind man. You have taken the other half of my being," she said through tears. "I forgive you, but you best hope God will." Judge Kevin O'Connell presided over the trial, which lasted under a week, in a 227 state district court. For 32 years, these two friends lived side by side and did everything together. They took family vacations together. They went out to eat. They went to church. They went everywhere pretty much together. They had a coexistence where if one person needed something, the other was always there to help and lend them a hand. They had traded and loaned things back and forth between the two over the fence, just like neighbors in a suburban area would do, and with best friends. But there are 5 known police reports between the two friends, where items were loaned to one friend, and the other friend didn't receive them back in a timely manner, so he believed that they were stolen from him. According to the San Antonio Press, These are the items that are listed on the 5 police reports where the friend called the police out to try to retrieve his stolen items. The first one, the police were called out to a report of a garden hose and a rake that wasn't returned. The second one, that where the police were called out, he believed that eggs from his chickens were stolen by his friend next door, and he also said that a pair of leather work gloves for gardening were stolen and hadn't been returned. The third call, where the police came out and they actually had a physical confrontation, but no charges were actually levied on either one of the two. But on that one, again, a rake, and also on top of that was a shovel, was reportedly stolen from the one friend, and the other friend had it. The fourth call, where the San Antonio Police Department came out and investigated a crime of theft, is where that knife supposedly, ended up being stolen and was reported to the police, but the other friend did not display that knife or have the knife anywhere near him or in the house that they were willing to search for. And the fifth and final incident, where the police department came out and investigated, the theft between one friend to the other, was the theft of a bucket, a metal bucket, and I guess you call it kind of like a gardening spade on a stick. It was a crudely, put together instrument that someone had made. It wasn't something he bought at the store. Those are the items that he supposedly stole from him and never returned. And this all came about within the last 3 years. The last 3 years, the relationship between the two friends had deteriorated to this point. Did he need to kill him? No. He just needed to stop hanging out with his friend. But apparently the two of them, even though, he believed that one was stealing from him, the two of them still got together and went out on the town, drank together, and still carried on with each other, even though he believed that the one friend was stealing items from his yard. 99 years. He must serve 30 years at the minimum before he will be eligible for parole in the state of Texas. So, thank you again for joining me today. You stay safe out there.